Okay. So, um, I'm just gonna try this out, right? For a long time, we have been investing in Bitcoin, stocks, and making other investments, right? So, one of the things that I pride myself in is the ability to see what is best for not just me, but with the least amount of money available. The goal is to take a small amount of money and put it in vehicles that are going to move forward without putting it somewhere that's going to lose that amount of money, right? So, what you're seeing in front of you is one third of my investment plan. So, I have three ways I want to invest, right? So, the three ways are crypto, right? Then we have our stocks, and then we have our outside investments, right? So, we when I call that outside, it could be like a video game, it could be advertisement, it could be in myself, it could be in another person. But the goal is, or it could even be real estate, right? But the goal is to lose less and win more, right? Lose less, win more. So what I'm going to show you is just one small aspect of the investing that I've been able to do, right? So we'll start with this side right here. This is my active side. Sorry, I keep on checking my phone, keeps lighting up. So this is my active list, right? There are other lists underneath my active list. And as you can see, I have four different lists. We'll start with the top. The top list is red list, right? So my red list, they don't have a name. It's just the red list because the red icon. I didn't name it that. It just came with the territory. So my red list is my stop, don't invest list, meaning not at all, but just as of right now, you're not investing in these. Continue to watch them. Continue to keep your eye on them. Make sure that you don't stop looking at them. But uh, the goal is not to theoretically take your eye off the ball on the red list, right? Because the red list could turn into the yellow or green list in a heartbeat. The green list is my go list. This is the everyday we're watching these. I mean, to the point where we might get in. If we do get in one, that's good. Green's a go. You know what I mean? We see good things for it. We're not going to stop and slow down. As you can see there, I have a both because you never know what might go on the list, right? I try not to have too many. These are just ones that in my head, these are 50 different stocks that in my head I can keep track of. I can watch on TV and the news will pop up about them, or maybe I have a product that inflects what they sell, or even I just am a big believer in their future. Right, so there's a bunch of different things on one of these lists. The next list is, and the list technically was supposed to be active versus inactive list, but these tabs make it a lot easier to throw it back onto a different list. So the orange list is ones that are not red but not green. They have not fully developed yet. They have not fully turned around in a negative way. They are right now in the middle, right? So slowly watching them every Friday or every Wednesday or whatever day I decide that I'm going to keep my eye on them. I watch them as much as I watch the red list. I'm sorry, more than I watch the red list, but as much as I watch, or almost as much as I watch the green list. The green list is every day. But theoretically, every Friday, the green list, I'm picking from the green list no matter what. The orange list or orange list is just me looking at it and going, can one of these either be moved left or right, right? Red or green, right? So that's all I'm looking at those for. It's like, okay, they need to make up their minds. Which way are they deciding to go? Most of the time, they're going to be consolidating. So they're going to pick a direction at some point. But as of right now, they have not picked the direction up or down. And it's probably been a while since they've been up or down. Or maybe they're down and they have not gone up. Or maybe they're up and have not gone down. Or maybe they have gone up and plateaued and then up again, and now they're at a second plateau. So pretty much it's a plateau. So that's the orange list. And in purple, my money is in purple no matter what, right? Regardless of where the market takes it. I'm in purple. Purple is my long haul, right? So I have 3 different amounts of money that I dedicate to purple. And then we'll go over that in a second. But for right now, let's talk about the 3. Okay, here we go. Now, so here's where we're at, right? So the thing keeps crashing, so I apologize ahead of time. Until my computer gets used to running this program in the background, it's going to keep on crashing. And actually, let me close the Play Store out. Cancel that. Get nothing else running in the background. Okay, so basically, what's happening here is I want to kind of show you guys a year from now what has been happening, and I want to show you why I put these in my retirement fund and why I'm investing in them for the future, and you kind of get an idea of what my plan is, right? So April last year, 2020, this coin was about $14, right? Now last year, $14, and now it's up to $400. Before that, in 2016 is when I actually had it. 2017 as well. And what I did was I actually sold it. It went to like $1 something, and I bought a bunch of them. It went like $10, and I was like, word. I think I had like 500 of them, and then I gashed out. Right? Took that 5K and ran with it. Kind of did the same thing with a bunch of other coins that were like $1 and went to $10, or a penny and went to like 25 cents. Right, 2 cents and went to 10 cents or whatever. I did that a bunch of times over and over and over, and it just made me a good amount of money. Because with crypto, if you can get in before it's important or before it makes sense, it doesn't cost a lot, right? If you get into a stock when it first comes out, and we'll look at that with like Roblox, sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense because it's kind of like brand new and it's just come out and it's expensive. But with crypto, man, they come out and they might be $1 in a month. It could come out at $50 and then be $1 in a month, or it could be a penny after being $25 or $1. You know what I mean? Even with Bitcoin, when it first came out, it was $0. It didn't cost anything. You just had to just mine it. You know what I mean? You got free ones every month, and then they became $25 at one point. When someone had sold a pizza, made it $25. So then, with that being said, you got it being worth $25, ended up going down to like $20, and then it went down to $5, and then it went down to 25 cents at one point. It became $1. I think at one point for a long time it was $1. So, but this coin was nothing. It was like $14, and then it went to like $40 at the beginning of this year. I wasn't going to buy it. I had like 500 at one point, and like I said, I got out really early. So that 500 would have been worth of almost $25,000 right now, which would have been super cool to have. But right now, it's kind of only crypto that I'm thinking about having more of. I have a few of them, but not that many. So I'm thinking about just sticking more in there, right? That's kind of the goal, right, with the crypto, is to get it to grow, because that's a 20x growth, 20 something x growth. And the goal is to continue to grow your wealth, right? Continue to grow what's in your account. And this is money you don't need to have. You don't need it. But the problem with crypto is at some point it gets so expensive that you almost feel, what's the word? You almost feel like you're behind the curve, and everybody else, they already got to the moon, and I don't have no benefit in getting in it. And it's only because crypto is all about trend setting, right? Trend setting. With Bitcoin is the first of its kind. So $50, $60, $1,000 each, right? I remember when it was 1,000, 2,000. When I got in first time I ever got in was like 1,000. And then it became 10, 20,000. And then it went down to like 3.5. And I kept telling people, get in. And then it stayed around 5, and then it stayed around 10 for a while. And then it moved to 60 in less than 6 months, right? So, but it's got this thought, it gives you this thought that you already missed the wave, right? Because there's no comparison to what Bitcoin could do, right? So Bitcoin is theoretically nothing and everything at the same time. So there's no comparison. So you can't compare the future of something else to Bitcoin. Like, because this and this and this is the reason why Bitcoin's going to continue to go up. Like, you can go up, but how much more, right? It's going to go up 1%, 2%. Like right now, this thing went up $2 and it's only went up 0.5%, and down $2 and it's only 0.5%, right? So is that worth it? I don't know. Is it not worth it? I don't know. It's hard to gauge it, right? Because it's the first of its kind to go up. Like, there's no exchanges out there that have a stock or have this value. This is the first one of its kind. Now you have ARK W, right? This is another this one and this one. And this one is another one that I'll be using the money from to fund whatever investments I do when I first retire, right? So this, at one point, look how cheap this was last year this time. Oh wait, this is December, January, February, March, April. Look how cheap it was back in April. It was $50. Let's say $50. So it's about $50, $55, right? Now look at it. It's tripled over the past year. And if you did the quick math on that, you could have put in $1,000 last year this time. Now you have $3,000. Same thing with $1,000 every single month. We have about $25,000 to $25,000 you would have in your account as of today, had you been putting $1,000 in the last month or last year. That's a big deal, right? The reason why it's a big deal is because it didn't cost you that much for your money to grow exponentially. And it's this in particular is ARK. It invests in all three of these. It's like investing into a hedge fund. You're theoretically hedging your money into all of these at the same time. This is the future right here. You got Tesla, who's exploded, Roku, which is TV. You got Square, Facebook, which is like everything at this point. And you got all these other social media platforms. And you have even LendingTree, which does the investments of mortgages and other loans. So you have the ability to invest in literally the future. It's called next generation internet of the internet, right? ETF. So it's investing in ETFs that are supposedly the future. And as these stocks and as these companies become more prominently popular in the world, not just United States or not just Asia and not just Europe and not just Africa, South America, Canada, not just certain places, the world, as they become more prominently popular and more grassrooted, they'll continue to grow and explode and do their splits and make even more money for everybody. And that's great. Like, why wouldn't you want to invest in the future? So that's another one that for the next 10 years, I'm sticking money into it until I don't want to do it no more. And then just either withdraw it all to invest in something that's going to make me quick money and I can now fund my retirement, or invest in something else, or maybe just let it sit. Who knows? My generational wealth, I might invest in that, and all of a sudden my kids might be well off forever, right? So that's why those two are here. These are my just throwing money into them randomly, no reason, no rhyme, no amount, no nothing. Just throw money in there. But they're long term, so I'll pay taxes on them long term, right? Then we have these two, right? So these are going to be how I live in retirement, how I plan on staying retired and never having to give a resume again. How no matter what happens in the market, I'm putting my money in these. NASDAQ has gone about 30%, but on average about 25% for the year. That's about 2% gain. If you had $1 million in this account, you would be able to pay yourself $20,000 a year, a month, which is my plan. That's $250,000 a year. That's my plan, to live off of that money, where now I'm able to pay whatever rent. So QQQ or NASDAQ may be paying my rent. Then funding my retirement and fun might be the other one. Who knows which one I'm going to pick? But this one used to be 202. It was 202. That's what it was. So this one was 202 at one point. And over the course of, as you can see, it was 202, right? At one point. And in the last year has gone up 40% for the year, right? So it didn't double, but it went up 40% for the year. Again, $1 million would have made $400,000 for the year. You could do whatever you want. You could buy real estate, rent it out. I could live off of it. I can eat my food off of it. Whatever I decide I want to do, who knows? Who cares? When you're making that much money, a million in one, a million in the other, and I'm making, let's say, $500,000 a year, and I don't have to lift a finger. That's why not? Why is that not the goal? That is the goal, right? So we're getting there by saying that we don't need to have a whole bunch of money up front to get there. We just need to just continue to grow our money without losing any money. And if you lose a little bit, you only lose a little bit. Last but not least is my kids' wealth. So like I was saying before, if I was to buy into Binance when it first came out, it was $1. I think it went down to like 50 cents at one point. Now it's $400, $500. Just a couple days ago, it was actually less than $400, right? So here we are. It went from 65 when it first came out to what it is now, 71, 77 at the highest it ever been, right? So that's my kids. Every week I buy one or two, depending on their grades. I'm buying them one, I'm buying them two, and I'm not going to spend that money. They're not going to spend that money ever until they decide to retire. And that money will continue to grow. I will continue no matter what the value is, buying 1 to 2 a week. So one week I buy one, the next week I buy two, or both weeks I buy one, or both weeks I buy two. Who knows? Who cares? But on every single week, I'm not stopping. I'm always buying one or two. This is going to fund their retirement. It's going to allow them to grow. Why did I buy into this particular one? Right? Because NASDAQ follows the NASDAQ. It's pretty much what it does. QQQ follows a bunch of different things, right? And ARK, we know, follows a bunch of other different things, and Binance is an exchange. But why Roblox? Why is that one important? Well, I looked at Facebook as kind of my justification for Roblox. So if you look at Microsoft, right? Microsoft, you will be investing in a company. And that company's competition is Apple, right? Its competition is Linux. Its competition is Google. Its competition is, there's a lot of competition to that one, right? But it's still very good value. McDonald's, same kind of concept. But why do I say that those are different and the same as Roblox? Because when it comes to Roblox is Microsoft on steroids. Roblox you can put on your Mac, you could put on your tablet, you could put on your PC, you could put on your desktop, you could put on your computer, you could put on your phone, you could put on your, like I said, tablet, and your TV. And it's a game or a platform with other games and platforms inside of it, allowing you to theoretically be your own business inside of this thing. So as the world recognizes it as kind of like the next Bitcoin or Ethereum, where you can create other coins inside of it because of the blockchain, or like McDonald's, where it has a customer facing front where it's kid friendly and adult friendly, or if it gets to a point where it's like a Microsoft, again, because it's a platform that you can play on an Xbox or you can play it on your PC or your phone. It's also a platform like an Apple where it adapts with the times. And on top of that, it doesn't need to change and doesn't need to adapt, and it doesn't need anybody else to add to it. It will continue to grow. The consumer base will grow. Kids will grow on it. Right now, you have people building architectural worlds. They're building worlds inside of it. You have people building games inside of it. You have people building houses. It's a whole thing, and I don't see it slowing down. I think it's at the beginning, and it's the first of its kind, trend setting. Should I put $70,000 inside this thing? I would if I could. You know what I mean? But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to grow it over time, because if it drops down, then I'm going to be not in panic mode, but then I'm going to be wanting to buy more while it's down. So why not just continue to just throw money into it as it grows? Then I don't have to worry about what the average is or whatever. I'm just putting money into it and don't stop. That's how I look at those 5, right? Those are the retirements because that's how it's supposed to be. And you never know. They might fund my kids' retirement. They may fund my retirement day, or not mine, but they might fund my kids' retirement. But theoretically, that's the plan. That's the goal. The goal is to have a 10-year plan, 5 to 10-year plan, where if I get to a certain number in 5 years, 10 years, then we're good. But that's what those are for. That's what those are. That's why they're in the purple. That's me explaining my retirement. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. But definitely like, subscribe, definitely share if you find this valuable. Honestly, I really don't care if you share, and I really don't care if you like, and I really don't care if you subscribe, because this is really just educational for me as a reminder. I've done this a million times. I've done a million of these videos, and they're really just to remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing, right? I don't like to tell myself tell other people what to do. I really just like to remind myself what I should be doing, because at some point you're going to have to do it. And I gotta remind myself what it is I'm doing. So, but yeah, definitely like, if you can, subscribe if you can. But let's go from here. Let's try to figure it out. The next video, this is part 1, but the next video we'll go over why yellow is yellow, why red is red, and why green is green. So we can kind of see the charts, explain to you why these 3 charts are down here below, and give you guys kind of a concept of what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. All right.